What is up, YouTube? Doing some fly fishing today. I found this inlet coming up to this reservoir. I believe it's just a small creek running off into this. We're gonna see if we can catch some decent trout. I know this reservoir holds monsters. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Throwing the fly rod today. I got my 8-weight out just in case. See if we can make something happen. Yeah, might be a little too deep. My indicator and flies are about 4 feet. This inlet seems pretty shallow. Yeah, we're gonna shorten this up actually. I can show you what I'm throwing. So like I said, I got a San Juan worm on there, and then I follow that by balance leech. I've caught a lot of fish on this leech pattern. It's for reservoirs, it's probably my my confident bait when I'm fly fishing. It just produces very, very well. It can mimic a bug, or it can mimic a small minnow, and it's just a great all-around fly to use on these reservoirs. What's going on with this? Gotta huck it. There we go. That's an easy cast. Let's see if I'm still touching bottom. I still might be. Hopefully we can get into some action. I've never fished this inlet before, so I'm kind of just winging it. Oh, I thought that was a take for a moment. There we go. I'm just using the wind to my advantage. I'm having it push these bugs, just making a natural drift on that. I call that dead drifting. I don't know if there's a specific term for it, but it seems to do very well because the wind with the little wake on the water bounces that indicator up and down, and it makes that leech looks like it's swimming. So I'm just trying to work this edge right now, see if it can produce some fish. It seems like, again, that it's just deeper on this edge than out in the middle. It looks like it kind of comes up a little bit. So I'm going to try and work this edge a little bit, and then here in a bit I'm probably going to try on that outside edge too, because there's some stuff over there that looks pretty juicy. I like focusing on these inlets in these early spring situations where most of the reservoirs are capped still, and as it warms up, these inlets open up, and it can make for some good fishing if you can get into them. I found it to be pretty productive around late February and early March. And with the river looking like chocolate milk, this is a pretty decent idea to try and chase these big fish. I know there's giant rainbow trout and brown trout in here. walked over to this other side, see if I can get a bite. I wasn't getting anything over there. I might come back to it. That whole edge over there is pretty much open water, but I just don't know the depth of it. Kind of seems pretty shallow. I'm honestly thinking about stripping a streamer through all this and seeing if that would produce. Today I'm just throwing it's the Echo Ion. It's a 8 weight. This is my beef stick. I can get some pretty good distance on this rod. Not only that, this rod is more than capable enough of handling these big trout if we hook into one. I'm gonna give this leech a couple more seconds and I'm gonna change colors. I think I'm gonna try white. See if I can get something to hit on that. I'm just saying, fishing by this ice line to see if I can get any bite or see any rises. So if I see any rising, I'd like to throw a dry fly, but it's a lot deeper right here. So I'm probably gonna work this spot for a minute. And I might need to adjust my indicator for deeper, just because this is a lot deeper and I want that leech almost to the bottom, because I feel the trout are holding on the bottom right now with the water being cold and they're just waiting for food to come by them. We'll try this cast and then adjust that bobber accordingly. Just tight on this streamer and try and throw this streamer around. We got some white bunny hair and some bucktail on it with some red flash. I'm gonna see if this can produce a bite for me and just fish aggressive for a minute. And then as the sun gets lower, I'll probably switch back to an indicator rig. But for now, I think my best bet might be to toss this streamer. I'll just let it sink, because I'm running a sink tip line on this reel. Allow it to get to the bottom. Just kind of stripping it slow. I'm gonna pick anything up. Get right close to that edge. Could have swore I just had a hit. Long cast right there. Yeah, I love fishing. I love the challenge part of the fishing. I love coming in here and trying to figure out what the fish want to eat and just figure out how to catch them in general and figure out the patterns. That's probably one of my favorite things about fishing, is the challenge aspect of it. I love throwing lures and anything that pretty much has action and movement, or even fly fishing. Just any way I can catch them while I'm challenging myself on trying new things. I didn't get no bites on the streamer, so I went back to an Indo rig. I'll show you guys. I'm throwing a red chrono midge. Hold still. Just a red chrono midge. And then I'm gonna throw this white balance leech I did get one hit on the streamer, which the color on that streamer, it was white. So it kind of gave me a clue if maybe they're eating white bait fish in here or something to replicate a minnow. But on that last cast, as I was pulling in that streamer, I found 2 scuds on it. So it got me thinking, if I don't get any bites on this within the next hour, I might throw a scud, because maybe that's what they're feeding on. It's pretty slow. Besides that one hit, I haven't seen or felt anything else. So kind of just trying to figure out what they want to eat for now, and then just go from there, I guess. I'm gonna go try and see if I can get a grab over here where this bank is. I mean, this ice has receded quite a bit. I'm just not getting nothing on that inlet. Sorry for the wind, it's starting to pick up. Hopefully we can get something by this ice line. I know, I'm hoping, should I say, that it just gets a little deeper. I think that might be one of the issues I'm running into, is it's super shallow back in this arm. And I think where the ice being where it is, it's going to be kind of difficult to find the depth that I want, but I'm hoping these trout are cruising along this ice line, and hopefully I can get a grab if that's the case. You can see where the ice is. This might be the most open spot aside from the main inlet. I was gonna fish the main inlet, but there's already 3 or 4 people over there, and I didn't want to get in their way of anything, so I kind of just drove back here and seen this open water and decided to give her a shot. Like I said, I've never fished this ice off before, but I know in this arm there are some monster rainbows that swim up and down through this. And that's how you get a snag out. Just do a little, let that indicator rise to the top, and then I just do a little roll cast, and the weight of that line usually pushes the flies out of whatever it's lodged into. That's pretty nice. I've retrieved quite a bit of snags and got my flies back doing it that way, but if it's really lodged in there and you use the weight of the indicator to do that, it will snap your line. I've had that happen to me plenty of times as well. Just a little trick that I've picked up over the years doing this. I thought I'd show you guys too, just in case you don't have to cross the river or get in your deep holes or anything like that. to retrieve them and blow it out because you walked all in it. That's kind of what I do, and if it breaks off, I'll just retie some new flies up on it. I'll just let it sit for a minute and then just strip it in. I found that to be a pretty good technique over the years as well, especially if you don't have any wind at all and you're fishing an indicator rig like this on reservoirs. I let it sit for 10-15 minutes and if I don't get a bite within that time, I'll just start stripping it in slowly. Oh, I just thought of an idea. It's open over there by the rocks too. I might give that a shot. That might get deeper quicker. It looks like it is right where that inlet. There's another creek running down in, and it's dumping in this reservoir. And just pulling that fresh oxygen, there might be some trout sitting over there. I'll give that a shot. This is the rocks. I got this creek channel coming in here. This creek dumping in here. Sorry. Stumbling on words. Anyways, should be pushing in fresh oxygen. That creek it's pushing clear water in, which is a plus. Let's see. Let's try that. Let's let that sit for a minute. Let's see what that does. I mean, it's not hitting any wind, so I'm gonna have minimal action in this right here. But it might be the key to getting a bite. Just wrapping up the evening. Got a skunk today. I couldn't manage to get any fish caught. I got that one bite on the streamer. I just didn't like what I was throwing, or maybe I'm in the wrong area. But I'll have to get back after it again and try and catch one of these monster rainbow trout. So I'll see you guys on the next one.